First, Geltzeiler, I want to get to an absolutely tragic story that we saw out of Boston this weekend. We saw Isaiah Thomas's sister, who was killed in a car accident early Saturday morning, and unfortunately for him and for his family and for the teammates, he had to play through that. And, just an awful situation from start to finish. And I just wanted to ask you what you thought about in terms of if you were surprised, whether he played through it, and then what you thought of his performance.
Well, I don't know if I was surprised. It's very hard to kind of lessen that, to go one way or the other there. It's a very, very personal decision. It's a horrible tragedy. It's something that is heartbreaking for him, heartbreaking for his family, quite obviously. And when you look at the approach he has to take, it has to be what works for him. And I know the Celtics look to him as such a leader, and he really is so important to them, not only on the floor, but off the floor. So for him to be around the guys, to be at home around the fans, all of that to me, I thought was a huge key in all this. It really was. And so for him, playing was the thing that he decided was right for him. I thought he played a very good game. He really was excellent. The fact is, the reason the Celtics didn't win the game didn't have a lot to do with Isaiah Thomas, had a lot to do with who they were with Isaiah Thomas not on the floor. That was their big issue. They were minus 16 without him on the floor. In a game, they lose by 4 points. So that tells the whole story. For Isaiah Thomas, and what the days ahead bring, we don't know. May he miss a game to go back to Seattle and be able to be with his family? That's possible. And Brad Stevens has given him the latitude to do everything that he needs to do in terms of himself and his family. And that's really, it's a great job by Brad Stevens. Quite obvious. Listen, you're not going to make a guy stay in the face of a tragedy like this. But I think the Celtics kind of show what kind of family that they are. And independent of the result of the game, there's something that, just a solidarity about that team, about that franchise, about that city, in the way they all got behind Thomas yesterday.